Andreas, Nordebäck.
Followed up by Andreas Nordebäck.
From the United States of America.
So very different experiences, ages, and aspirations really for what's to come from this competition for the athletes' names on screen. Valter Virtanen from Finland. He said he assumed he would retire after the European Championships, which took place in Finland in 2023. However, sadly, Valter's mother died just 2 weeks after the event, and she was a huge part of his skating career, a huge influence on him. And so beyond that, he elected to continue, and he's regularly and repeatedly asked the question as to when he will retire from competition. But I, for one, have the greatest of admiration for his continued participation alongside his duties as a father to his daughter Leah, who's herself on the competitive circuit, just 4 years of age, and following in her mother and father's footsteps in the family affair that is the Virtanen skating dynasty. Valter does not have the same technical element prowess as others, but brings so much to the field. As we look now to Andreas Nordebäck, he too comes from a family of skaters. His elder brother, an elite competitive skater. And fascinatingly, for Andreas, the free skate music this season is music that his big brother was supposed to skate to. Unfortunately, however, COVID hit, and then his brother stopped competing, so he never competed with the program. That program that Andreas saw was his favorite to watch, and now he's doing his own rendition. On screen now, Jimmy Ma, who has changed his free skate this season, originally going for a more conventional music choice, and now inspired by former world medalist from his home nation, Rudy Galindo, he's going to use It's Raining Men and YMCA, and I was just so entertained earlier in practice at his performance ability, as was the arena. It will be exciting to watch for sure. And then to Dennis Vasiliev from Latvia, he too returning to last year's program. He had constructed a new free skate to a James Bond selection, but like many of the athletes, unable to have clearance on the music rights to use that, and thus he has returned to last year's skate, La Bayadère. And he's collaborated with dancer Vadim from the London Royal Ballet in the creation of this free skate. Again, as all of the athletes seem to be doing, changing, making tweaks. Matteo Rizzo, he too changing his free skate this season, skating to the Hans Zimmer track Interstellar. And within the choreography, as we see him working through his quad toe, Interstellar, the music, he has aspired to create a constellation on the ice within a step sequence, which is a fascinating concept, as we see two men in identical colors. From one blue costume to another, Sota Yamamoto. Practice had been going so well for Sota Yamamoto, and he opened his short program with a wonderful quad toe, triple toe, but then popped his second quad into a triple, and then struggled with the triple axel as well. But he's looking good there with a very comfortable quad-triple combination of toe loops. The athlete who was 4th year last year, and he said that he loves the Finnish sauna, so he's going to treat himself to one after the event. Could do with a sauna before the event to unwind after a short program, maybe. And I've just seen Valter Virtanen's training mate, Kirilo Marzak, coming to support. And wonderful to see so many coming out in force to support Walter, who's in his 20th senior season, is just amazing. And as I said, not technically competitive with the base value of his planned program content, but I suggest that even the superstar that is Ilya Malinin would take his hat off in respect to any athlete competing on the senior circuit for 2 full decades. And as we have just half a minute left in this warm-up, the men winding down, less jump passes attempted. Well, a nice triple toe from Jimmy. It really was astounding the way in which he energized an arena in a practice session. Sota Yamamoto looking solid. However, he did in practice, but struggled under the pressure of the performance. Let's hope that he can deliver in his 4-minute free skate.
Please leave the ice.
This performance. Oh gosh, the drama continues. Andreas there seeking some medical support. Oh, I'll tell you what, yesterday at the Finlandia. So I suspect now that the bandaging on the hand of the next skater, Andreas Nordebäck, was the reason for the ice marshal on the ice scraping up blood on the hand of the Swedish 21-year-old from Stockholm. I hope Andreas is okay. Not ideal preparation, but this a piece of music and a program that he cites as his favourite throughout his career so far. Skating to A Time for Us. Triple axel, Euler, triple salchow. Followed up by another quality triple axel. at the first of the mistakes, a double flip instead of a triple flip. Well, what respect for Sweden's Andreas Nordebäck. You can see the injury that he sustained, I suspect, in warm-up, and the cut in his hand, and the blood coming through the bandaging, and it looks like pretty thick bandaging applied, but all of the forces of the rotation of the jumps and the spins, well, it felt so uncomfortable. I don't know what he's done, but the amount of bandaging for that blood to still be gushing out, even reluctant to lift his left arm to take his bow. And so much respect for him for then going out to give it fairly clean skate. He didn't go for the quad toe. So perhaps, I have to admit, I did not see the reason for the fall, but he does have a good quad toe, and that perhaps was the element that caused the injury in warm-up. This was good, triple axel, Euler, triple salto. He actually can do a triple Euler, which is not something that I think we've ever seen in competition. He's done that in practice. But there was the triple axel, single Euler, triple salto, and then a second triple axel. You can see, can't even extend his fingertips. You can see the use of his right hand to make line, what he would probably do with the left hand, but the bandaging has restricted the movement there. But certainly any physical pain giving him the chance to emote to this music that he so loves. There, the only mistake really, the double flip instead of triple. But I'm sure Andreas' older brother, who used this music initially and inspired Andreas to choose it, will be an incredibly proud sibling. Indeed, Andreas collaborating with Nikolai Morozov, famed choreographer, just like his brother did back in 2020 for this, his version of the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack. Well, drama at the Helsinki Ice Hall, but continued respect for the athletes. Andreas Nordebäck awaits his score. So it's a score coach Melanie Joseph accepts of 144.68, all things considered. Another skater that has conducted themselves very well, and the crowd here, very respectful.
61 points, is currently in the first place.